Hi, my name is Sheree Dawson, and I want to show you how I do the sourdough English muffins made with the einkorn flour. Well, I didn't get a chance to show you how I put it together last night, but it has to sit overnight. But I figured this morning I will show you the ingredients that I use, okay? I did a double recipe. So it takes 1 cup of the sourdough starter. My sourdough starter is a blend of spelt and einkorn, okay? So I use 1 cup of the starter. And then it calls for, as a double recipe, 2 tablespoons of honey. I use the organic honey. And then for milk or water, but I use milk, I use the Trader Joe's soy milk or the Whole Foods almond milk. You can use either one of them. I used this one. It has more body than the almond milk when it comes to baking, so I tend to use that one more so. And then you want to use the flour. I use the einkorn all-purpose flour mixed with the einkorn grain that I grind myself. And I usually only grind what I need or what will last for a short time, so it won't stay out too long. So after you put all that together, you make a dough. I try to put in as much flour as possible to make a soft dough so that the sourdough can react on the grains so that the phytic acid is broken down overnight. So after you make a dough, cover it. I use a plastic top to put on the bowl and let it sit overnight. So then in the morning, you're supposed to add the baking soda. I don't use regular baking soda. This is the baking soda that I use. And you have to usually double the amount the recipe calls for when you're using this amount. So I used 2 tablespoons. And then for the salt, I use the Himalayan pink salt. And that is 2 teaspoons as a double recipe. 1 teaspoon for a single recipe, okay? So again, I use 1 cup of the sourdough starter, 2 tablespoons of the honey, 1 cup or 2 cups of the milk of choice, and 2 cups of the flour, or 4 cups. But all flours don't act the same. Sometimes, give or take, you need more or less. And this particular flour, I needed a little bit more. So it says 4 cups, but I probably ended up 5 or 6 cups because einkorn is a little bit different than most of your flours. And so then I made the dough and covered it overnight. And so this morning, I wanted to show you how I cut out the muffins, and they have to be proofing on a tray for at least 1 to 2 hours. Okay, so I will show you that next. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Good morning, this is Sheree Dawson from My Kitchen to Yours. I have started my sourdough English muffins last night. I put all the ingredients together and the dough and the sourdough, and I let it sit overnight. And now, as you can see, I have 1 tray already done, and I use a cutter, which you'll see in a minute. I'm going to show you how I finish making my English muffin shapes with my cutter. Okay? Be right back. Good morning. Instead of a rolling pin, I usually like to spread the dough out with my hand. I have a better control over it. And so as you can see, I'm spreading it out to about maybe 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch. And then I have my cutter here to the size that I want for the English muffins. And I cut them out and finish the tray that I was almost finished. I had 1 more left to do. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to cut the remaining out, and I'm going to put them onto a tray, another tray, to finish the process. So I will be back when it's time to put them on the grill. I even take all the leftovers and I put it together to make a few more cuts, okay? So these are gonna go on a smaller tray because I don't need a big tray to finish that, okay? So here I go, I'm gonna spread this out and get maybe another one or two. The last one I probably hand form. Okay, so here we go with the last one. And I use my trusty dough scraper to get it off of the counter, okay? And this last one will be a little bit bigger. I'm gonna hand shape it, all right? And just put a little flour so it doesn't stick to the table like before, okay? So there we go. That'll be the last one. Kind of big, but it'll be a good one. All right, thank you. So if you missed it in the beginning, I took a pan, lined it with parchment paper, and then put some cornmeal on it to keep the sourdough muffins from sticking to the pan, because they do get sticky. They have to sit for another 1 to 2 hours to proof. So that's what I'm going to do here, okay? So we have one. We have this sticky one over here. All right, so I picked the right size pan. So all of these should be in the pan, as you can see. And then I'm going to cover them with another piece of parchment paper, or it could be even a towel. And that's going to sit for 1 to 2 hours. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how I do them on the grill. All right? Thank you. Okay, I'm back. And it's been a little over 2 hours. But as you can see, the muffins have proofed. And you can see how they're puffier and how they're ready. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm going to start placing them on the griddle. As you can see, I've warmed it up and tested it with water. As you can see, so I'm going to start with the small pan. I'm not going to go through all of them with you, but as you can see, all the other ones are ready also. So I'm going to take them from the pan, a little sticky, and I'm going to place them on the griddle. I don't think my griddle is hot enough. The cornmeal was to help keep them not from sticking to the paper and to give it a little bit of a crust. They're sticking a little bit. I guess I didn't put enough, but they'll be okay. This one's a little sticky. I think that's that sticky one we had on the board there. Okay, that one's a little bit misshapen, okay? There we go. So we're going to let those sit on there until they get puffy. And I'm going to let you see that for a little while, and then we're going to turn them over so they get brown on both sides. So I'll be back when they're ready to turn. Well, I hope you can see that some of them are getting puffy, and so I'm going to check the bottoms and see if they're ready to turn over. Not yet on that one. This is the hotter end of the stove, so it may be ready sooner. That one's a little bit ready to turn over. But I want you to notice how puffy they have gotten since I first put them on. Well, looks like this one is ready to turn over. There we go. That one's not quite. And they're puffy, okay? Oh, my big one there is still a little bit light in color because it's in the middle, in between the two burners, so it's not, even heat throughout this griddle. So I'm going to show you again in a few minutes. Okay, I want you to notice the color that I'm looking for. These have all been turned over, and so they're quite ready. These are a lot faster because it's on the hotter side, and these are a little bit slower. I'm going to try to avoid putting them here because that's the cooler side of the griddle. But I just wanted you to get an idea what you're looking for, and as you can see, it heightened up a little bit as it was the heat got to it. Okay, so as you can see, this little one here has a good browning on both sides, and the big one is getting there, but it's going to take a little bit longer. But this one over here I think is almost ready. All right, so I'll check back with you in another few. Okay, both sides are brown, and I'm about to take them off and put them on the cooling rack, which should sit at least for half a day before I put them away. Okay, so before they get burnt, I'm going to continue and finishing up the rest of the tray. We have a whole tray of them over there, and so I have to get them all done. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. So I put some more on the griddle, but I wanted you to see that this particular one, that large one, I want you to see that if you tap it, it should sound hollow. So it's ready to come off. This is my second batch on the grill. And as you can see, this one over here is quite puffy. They all have gotten puffy, some more than others, depending on how thick the dough was. But I just want you to see what you're looking for. And I'll show you the end products of the ones that are on the cooling tray. Hold on. Bye-bye. Okay, all 25 muffins are done, but I just want to show you them and show you what can happen when you step away for just a minute. I was a little thirsty, and so I went to get some water, and look what happened to this one. It's got a little dark. I think I got two like that. But that's how careful you have to be. You have to watch over them while you're baking them. And so now these will sit on the counter for about another 5 or 6 hours to cool, and then I will store them in the refrigerator. The healthiest time to eat them is 12 to 24 hours later, which is better for you. So I hope you get to try these, and if you have any questions, you can messenger me on Facebook. Bye-bye, and God bless.